how did the actual, where are you going? How did the actual idea come to you, like to do sort of a unconventional possession film like this?
I don't think that there was like, I was actually talking to Callie actually about this before. It wasn't really a light bulb moment, but so much as my interest in demonic possessions and all that just kind of accumulated over the years, and eventually when I felt like I had enough information, you could say, to make a film, that was when I decided to do it. Like, I don't know, there's something about demonic possession that interests me, like, to the point I even tattooed an Ouija board on my body. So yeah, I'm asking for it, I know. But so it's one of the things that I just kept researching, coming up theories, and I was just very interested in the ideologies about science, mental illness, and how that reflects with how the church almost uses it to their advantage, kind of thing. Not to say there's anything wrong about religion. Wow, see how quiet it is right now? See how awkward it is right now? But yeah, so that was really the, genesis of it.
So were the books, like the books on shadow people and stuff, did that actually come from your bookshelf? Like, were you?
Oh no, that was my personal experience. I mean, do you guys know about shadow people at all? Like, do you guys have night terrors? How many of you guys have night terrors? Come on, look at this, look at how amazing this is. How many? 1, 2, 3, see?
What was the inspiration behind all the chromatic aberrations that would happen whenever he'd go in, like,
yeah, that wasn't inspiration, that was research. I talked to a couple of friends, me and the actors were, we didn't want to portray people with schizophrenia or with any mental illness wrong. So we did a lot of research on that. And it's really hard for me to talk about this because my research pool is not like I interviewed like 5,000 people, It's like I interviewed like maybe only 5 people. And but just based on the collectiveness and help with me about the schizophrenic episodes and all that, I just came up with certain technical things, like with the film, with the cameras and with post-production. One of the things we did was we actually disconnected the film lens from the actual camera, and we took out that little lock piece from it, and we shine torch lights into it, so that as the actor is having a schizophrenia attack and we're moving the lenses, you're seeing it go in and out of focus, and sometimes when it kind of comes up too much, the flashlight kind of flares the lens, and that's what you kind of see here. Another thing that people were talking about with schizophrenia was that sometimes you try not to move so much. So how we did the chromatic aberration, which you talked about, was we took the green and blue channels and offset it. So if he's not moving, he's fine, but when he's moving, you start seeing that trail of colors. And basically what it is that...
It's old school 3D, basically.
It's pretty much old school 3D, yeah, but we tried to do everything as organic as we could. So yeah.
Very, very cool. Talk a little bit about the production design and the creature design of the movie. Who liked the creature design and the crazy artwork all on the walls? So what drove that sort of design? Like, was that ideas that came from you that you communicated, or did you say, I want something really creepy, and then the production designer just went off, or?
No, we actually talked a lot about it. We talked a lot about the whole idea of, creating something unique. And considering that this movie has a lot of Catholicism in it, so we tried to take a lot of Christian mythology into it, and one of the main things was, yes, fire, brimstone, and all that. And I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if a demon was actually made out of burnt bodies? Like, you throw them in hell, and all those bodies that are kind of, it's like making stew. And And so that's the stew there with all the bodies and all that. And it just kind of came up. And so that was the top half of the design. And then I think I got lazy. The bottom half of the design thing, I just went, you know what? I hate spiders. Let's freaking put spider legs on it. So that was kind of how it came about. So it was half practical and half CGI. Obviously, spider legs was CGI. The practical, it was a combination of, if I didn't have time to be in it, there was another guy that played it, but for the most part, that was me in the suit, and I hated that thing.
So did you actually have to direct while wearing a big creature suit?
Yes, I did.
Is there behind the scenes footage?
They actually broke half a toothpick, and in one of those eyes, they could put the toothpick in there, so I could, like this, and if I angled it right, I could see the monitor. But the worst part was actually the second day that I was in a creature suit. And it takes about 2 guys and about 45 minutes to get it on me. And so on the second day, they put it on me, right? And one of my hair just came down here. And it was just tickling me all day. Have you ever had that?
Yeah.
And you can't get it off, and you just, and the whole time the suit, like people outside, they could just see me in the suit, but then they hear this weird sound like, and I'm trying to blow it off and I can't. And the worst part is because we shot this in summer, so it was really hot. So now everything's starting to stick. And at one point, we put baby powder all over me, but when the sweat starts to come out, that becomes glue. And it took 4 grown men to get me out of there. I actually had a video of it. I'm still like contemplating, should I release it? Because my script supervisor, AD, was just laughing. It's like, he looks like he's puking him out. He's puking him out. It was the worst experience because you just want to get out of it because you can't breathe in that thing. I mean, your skin can't breathe in it. So I did this way.
All right, let's turn it over to the audience. Does anyone have any questions for Pearry? There's got to be one. All right. Okay.
Everybody understood the film.
Yeah. Let's talk about Peter Jason for a second. Was he your first choice to play the priest, or how did you come about casting it?
Peter was actually my first choice.
Nice.
And it was really, really tough to convince him because the first thing he said was, "Pearry, there's too many lines. I'm an old man, I can't remember anything." And I'm like, okay, do you want to do it? He's like, there's a lot of lines. I was like, I'm not asking if there's a lot of lines, I'm asking if you want to do it. And he's like, yeah. I was like, all right, then I was like, so what's the problem with all those lines? And he was like, well, that leaves me less time to have fun on set. And I was like, hey, I don't give a shit. Like, let's just go. And the thing is, he would be memorizing 8 pages a day. But I would also say he's one of the not hardest actor to work with, but okay, the thing about Peter is in real life, he's this really, really nice guy, and he's a big joker. He's laughing, and all that. So what happens is, but he's also a veteran actor. So he,
And this isn't his first time he's fought evil.
And he's joking on set, and just as it's about to roll, he just zooms into character, and he's ready to go serious. Now, you have a lot of other actors who are not veterans, and they're still in giggling mode, and he's the only one like, and everybody else like, and so sometimes you're like, Peter, just tone it down, dude. You can switch that easy, but a lot of people cannot. And he's really that awesome. Like, one part of me is like, it's amazing to see him switch that fast. Like when it's time to be Peter, he's Peter. And when it's time to switch into character, he just goes into character. But again, there are a lot of other actors who are just not used to that. Some people need time to get in a character, go, move, and all that. So But that was really fascinating to watch, you know, like when you're in a presence of a veteran actor, see that. That was actually pretty awesome.